Hey everybody, welcome to Plug TV. We're doing something a little bit different here at the Pickup Gaming. We're testing our phone. Something a little bit different here at the Pickup Gaming. Oh yeah, that sounds real clunky on the sound. But we're doing something a little bit different, and we're going to try a microphone here in a second to see if it helps. But we are at the game table, the kitchen table, and we're going to play a little Combat Commander. Got my wife. I suckered her into playing some games, and now as long as she gets to play the Japanese on the winning side, we have no problem. So we're gonna try this microphone to see if it will maybe work a little bit better for us as well. So we are adjusting our technology. This is our first time setting up like this. So I don't know if it's gonna switch over to that microphone. I'm just switch over to that microphone. Let's see how it works. Just switch over to that microphone. Let's see how it works. Just switch over to that microphone. Let's see how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. Volume a little bit. See how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. Volume a little bit. See how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. Volume a little bit. See how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. Volume a little bit. See how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. Volume a little bit. See how it works. Just switch over to our microphone. All right. Well, we've got our volume turned up. So we've got our volume turned up. So we've we'll move it here a little bit. That's about as close as we can get with the microphone. So we'll test out the sound like this. Okay, it says it sounds a lot better but low volume. I turned the gain up a little bit, so hopefully you can hear us a little bit better now. I don't know, maybe if we just talk loud.
You're the talker, so
I'm the talker, so
put the mic right there in front of your face.
I just stick it right here. I'll move a little bit closer. How's that? We'll test that out. My wife said she doesn't need to be heard.
With the hand.
She has the hand. So what we've set up for the table, it's not ideal, but what we're doing is a game of Combat Commander. She got this for me for my birthday, and my mother-in-law and my wife went in and they got it for me. So I thought, we've been talking about playing a board game. So the only real problem is I don't have a camera that gave me a nice overhead view. So it's not ideal to see everything or all the details that we're doing. But I know my wife was already looking. How can we dangle a camera?
We've got the candelabra we're putting in.
I was thinking that. Yeah, we're going to put in a candelabra, and we're already thinking about how to dangle stuff off the candelabra here in the dining room per se. So if I'm lucky, I'll be able to have a camera to get me, the camera for the wide view, and then like a camera for the overhead. So we'll have like it covered in just our little play area. So we've got the very first scenario set up. She and I have played this particular scenario twice now, and this is the scenario called the Grassy Knoll, and this is out of the playbook for Combat Commander Pacific. And so far, of the 2 times that she and I have played, the Americans have lost each time. I played this once with my father-in-law, just kind of a refreshing of the rules. The rules are different than Combat Europe, not like completely different. The base core mechanic is the same. It's a card-driven game. You still have orders and things like that. But just some of the tweaks on how the cards interact are a little bit different. So the first game I played with my father-in-law, I played it as if I was playing Combat Commander Europe, and the game works, but we missed out on quite a bit of functionality. And then when I actually sat down and read the rules, I started playing with my wife, and it actually makes for a much better game. So right now we were just in the middle of the setup phase. I was hoping we could have completely set up by the time we started. Now this particular setup, you might have to really look to see where the counters are. I might be able to hold one up to a camera every now and then and kind of show you what we're doing. But I'm playing on the American side. The way we have our board set up is here at the front. You can kind of see parts of it, but this is the display track where it has our victory point, tracker, casualty tracker, the time track for the game. It has the surrender marker for the American side, and just some general information that we use for gameplay. So because I don't have the camera, I can almost pull this handheld camera off and show you, but maybe some other time. So we're not really focusing on exactly rules, explanations. We're going to play. So we have the display track here, our map in the middle, and then on the far end we have some play aids that talk about the terrain, hand card size limits, and so on. So just set up for us really well. And it all fits inside a poster display case, and it gives us a little bit of a plastic cover to keep the map flat and keep our play aids safe. And if I had a marker, I could even draw. So all of our pieces are set up. So you caught us right as we were setting up the American side. On this particular scenario, the Americans are setting up in hex row 1 on this side of the map. So that's what I was looking at, is how to set things up. So without going into too much detail, some of my pieces, I have a weapon team which has really terrible combat stats and only has 2 people in it. So I'm going to give them the 50 caliber machine gun that we're assigned. And the biggest thing is trying to figure out how to place people. I've tried this scenario a couple ways where, one, I tried to split forces. Some go to the right flank, some go to the left, and that was awful. Splitting the forces was terrible. Then I did a maneuver where we went to the left flank in force, and we just started to roll through the Japanese defenders.
That was because of your attitude, though.
Right, yeah, my wife says it's because I got some add extra folks to help out. So if luck isn't on my side, I feel another thrashing coming on. The problem is, this particular scenario, right up through the middle, we've got this huge patch of grass, and it has a movement penalty of 4, and it really just slows you down. You can't charge through the open ground. Then they have a path off to the left, which actually has a path, but the Japanese player sets up his pieces second. So once he sees where I'm positioned, if I go to the left flank, he can put some defenses here to hold me up. If I go right flank, it's the same thing. So I have to decide, where do I really want to conduct the bulk of my operation. All right, so we're going to set up, this movement team, this fire team. The 50 caliber machine gun has a -2 movement. They only have 4. I mean, they don't move. They really suck. You kind of in-place them and just use them to spray down folks. However, just by themselves is not very good. They need to be part of a fire group. But to be effective, a fire group has to be close enough to the enemy so you can have a lot of units attack them. So maneuvering is very, very important. And with this movement penalty 4 grass, it's hard. I like... And when you're setting up, the other thing you have to worry about is overstacking limits. Fortunately, with the overstacking rules, as you play through the game, not when you set up, but as you maneuver, you can overstack, just not when setting up. I have 2 leaders, which will help me activate extra units to get them moving, which is good. So I'm going to set up down yonder and put a machine gun. I can't assign a weapon to a leader that has a negative movement penalty modifier, so I'm just going to have to stick them with the infantry team and hope I can get everybody moved. So there's a couple infantry teams. So what I've done, probably pretty difficult to see, I'm going to try and go with a southern flank again, because I've got a path that will give me basically 1 movement point through the different difficult terrains. I'm going to see if I can try to rush through the south. Now, that's the advantage of the Japanese player setting up second, is she actually has fortifications and some weapon emplacements that she can put to really stymie that advance. So here I am over on my left flank.
You set up?
I'm set up. We're going to try this way.
Okay, I'm going to place my bunker with my 2-person weapon and my battalion gun.
All right.
My 4-person weapon with my light mortar.
Ooh.
And with them, my wonderful, awesome, amazing Lieutenant Dinette.
All right. So what she has done is a new Japanese defensive tactic that we hadn't seen. Usually when we play, the Japanese place up a little bit further back, but now she has her strongest bunker that she was given, like smack dab in the center of the map. And the weapons teams have range that looks like they can reach all corners of the board from where they're at. So wherever we go, we're going to get peppered by something. Now with her mortar team and the field gun being positioned where they are, the way that ordnance rules are, she'll have a pretty good chance of rolling accurate rolls to see if they attack the hex they're striking. So that kind of sucks. That will be interesting. And, okay.
Back here, I'm going to put my +3 cover here with my 4-person medium machine gun, my Division B, my weapon team with a light machine gun, and my other Division B.
Okay. So she's got her stuff set. I'm just taking one card out. All right. So one thing that we have learned is we're not experts with the rules. So we do every once in a while look something up. But I think we've got, for the most part, the gist of it. My wife has a much better memory than I do. So there's times where she'll stop me and say, hey, remember you do it this way. So she's a better rules lawyer than I. Some things we still kind of debate. But that's the wonderful thing about a game face-to-face. You can kind of discuss something through and come up with a mutual agreement and then possibly get clarification later. But I think for the most part, we're good to go. Now, the way it's set up, they have the American player as with the initiative card. So if you're not too familiar with the game, we are given a initiative card, which we'll hold up a little bit like so. I got some gloss because I've got the sheet protectors on them. But the initiative card, what that will let me do, just the most basic, is it will let me re-roll a roll if I don't like it. And then if the end of the game comes and we are tied smack dab in the middle of the victory point tracker for victory points, the person holding initiative wins. That's the best use for that card. So I start with the initiative. I placed first. I move first. The way the game is also set up is depending on how the scenario sets it will dictate how many cards you start with. I actually get to play with 6 cards per turn. The Japanese defending player gets to play with 4 cards in their hand. So we're going to see if these 6 cards will help out. Did I draw 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 6. I drew 7. All right. Now, I get to play, according to the scenario, up to 3 orders. So I have to look and just kind of decide what it is I want to do. First thing I want to do is play an asset request. So like I said, I'm not going to show you like every single card and explain every single rule. This is just more of a broadcasting concept that we want to try to do. So I'm going to play asset request card, and I'm going to go straight for requesting artillery. So put my discard pile over here. Alright, so here we've got a chart. Probably can't quite see it all. But anyway, the gist of it is I'm going to roll the dice and see if I qualify for artillery. So I roll 8. So I left the United States, 8. Yep, I can buy the 105 for 5 victory points. So you have to buy the artillery. So 5 victory points, and then I'll grab my... Did you already pull artillery out?
No, I did not.
You just pulled artillery denied?
Yeah, because the artillery is determinate based on your roll.
So I earned my radio. So now, in the future, if I want to play an asset card, I could actually call down an artillery strike. And later in the game, they have it can be really good, it can be really bad. I've had a few games where artillery was drifting back on my own people like every shot, or just completely out to nowhere. I even killed one of my own folks with drifting artillery. That's how good it was. I killed one of my lieutenant. I killed my lieutenant, so one of my leader units. So it's terrible. So I played one order. We are going to initiate a move. I'm going to activate Lieutenant DeMoss, and he's got his 1 radius. Oh, I should have put him in the box with the machine gun, which I will do. So machine gun's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then Lieutenant Moss is going to come up 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move the lieutenant 1 more. That way he gets a bonus movement point. Oh, that's a full squad. We'll move the machine gun up here in a little bit. And now he activated because he's within the 1 command radius. Okay, so that costs 3, 4. Because he didn't start on the hex side of the trail. So, alright, that's his movement. So that's my two orders so far. Third order. I could not play artillery anyway because I have no line of sight from my unactivated leader. I'm going to go ahead and pass. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. So at the end of your turn, you always draw your replenishment up to 6. Or at least whatever your limit is, mine is 6. So she looks at her cards. Are you doing just did you place
No, I placed a recon, and I'm moving it into the discard pile, because that was a crappy command confusion card that wouldn't do me any good.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I hate, is drawing these command confusion cards. They have these command confusion cards that pretty much have little value in terms of orders. Like, there's no order, it has no value. And some of the cards, they'll have not only no order, but no action. So the card is literally useless. But it simulates that the havoc and chaos of war, where you can't always get your orders out to your troops.
I have drawn.
Alright, so she's done with her turn. Problem with a card-driven game that we have found, won't call it a problem, but we'll call it a definite challenge, is not getting the cards you want when you need them. I'm trying to move my troops through jungles, and I do not have any move orders. So then it's like, well, do I get rid of X this card or this card and hope I draw a better one? So what I'm going to do is take my turn and play some discards. So I'm going to drop 2 cards into my discard pile. Now, the American player, according to the player A chart that you can't see, they're allowed to discard up to 5. And I discarded 2, so I'm going to replace that with 2 cards on my draw turn.
I am also going to discard and draw.
Okay. And she also did a discard. And again, I'm stuck with stuff I can't use. So I'm going to discard 2 again. I know, not very dramatic, but shoot, if you can't move, you can't move. Alright.
I'm going to asset request.
Alright. So she's playing her asset request. You buying artillery?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, it's on the back. So she got
roll
Jack.
10.
You can buy the, what is that? 81 millimeter for 2. Alright, so she's getting an 81 millimeter cannon. Now the artillery that we're buying, you buy the radio, and this is requesting an off-board asset. So it's not something that you place on the board other than in your radio slot.
No deciding when you do it.
Right, you place a sighting marker, but it's not a piece that you can physically move or touch. It's represented by either, battery somewhere. If the cannons were large enough, you could say like naval bombardment.
Okay, and then I draw.
Alright, so that was hers. Alright, so I've actually got a legitimate card, finally. I got another move, since I'm in the process of trying to move my troops. I've got to round them up. So I always try to activate a leader. Your leaders have a command radius that they affect, which means if you activate the leader, you can then in turn activate smaller groups of units with the same order, which is awesome when trying to move groups. Otherwise, you have to have a separate move order for each individual piece. So your leaders are uber important. So I activate Sergeant Savage. I'm going to start moving, not that they can move very far, but he will activate all these folks. The machine gun unit can actually move up 1, and they can move, let's see, that's the stack limit there, because that's a 4, that's a unit of 4.
Okay. Since you moved there,
Right.
I'm going to place 1 mine in that hex that you just moved into.
Alright. So, that's nice. She played basically an ambush card. It's not there's actually one called Ambush, but she played some hidden Ponzi trap, which is great. It's going to put some mines in here, so she's randomly picking a mine. The reason why we do this, there is actually a firepower strength 7 and firepower strength 8 mine, potentially, just a 1, 7, 1, 8. So the scenario will usually dictate what mine you get, but we like to throw those into a random counter draw. So most of the time they draw a firepower 6 mine, but there is that slight chance you could draw a firepower 7 or firepower 8. So she stuck that in here. The sad thing is there's very few cards that you can play that will remove a minefield. So 9 times out of 10, I just take the chance of moving out of the minefield and being attacked by mines. Normally with a minefield, you get attacked if you move into the hex, but since she placed it after we moved, I only get attacked if I leave the hex. So I'm hoping I might get something that will let me pull those out. Otherwise, I've got all my firepower just kind of stuck right there. What else are you doing? Oh, I got to finish moving.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I still got to finish moving. We're going to
Fun
move
for you.
them up. There's no cover anyway. And he will move up and move up. So we're going to try. We were trying to move through, but now we're stuck in the minefield. Okay, I also have, I think that will be okay. So I'm going to, because I played 1 card, I can't also discard. So I played 1 card, I have no other card to play. So even though I'm not using my full 3 orders, I'm going to have to draw a card because I got nothing. Your turn.
I will also draw
Get Coco. I still got Brand X Coco here.
and call that my
All right. Wonder if I could do this. Let's take you on a journey. Let's show you what the board looks like. So where we're at. That's going to be crazy to look at. I don't even know if you can see that. Can you see down there now? So I've got a bunch of Marines all kind of stuck right here where we're trying to kind of swing out through the flank. Right up here, she placed a minefield, so it pretty much just stopped this group right here, which had my heavy weaponry. So I've got Marines back here that could try to sneak out around, but I'm still going to have to take some attacks to get these guys out of the minefield, which puts them in very vulnerable positions. So not the best position to be in, but that's kind of where we're at. In the middle of the map board, she has placed her Japanese unit. And so if I could, drop artillery on something like that, that would be nice to pound it. But it is in her strength 6 bunker, so good luck on that. Then right here to welcome me as I come out of the bush, she has a small group of Japanese inside a foxhole. And then finally over here, she has some people guarding the last objective, which is worth 10 victory points. So that's kind of like the goal, is to get that objective point, because that will give a huge swing towards the American player. So I wonder, how does that look if I hold it up here?
You can't see.
Terrible. Oh. No, I'm not showing you. I'm just trying to figure out.
You're swinging out. I see you in there.
All right. So we'll have to work on camera placement. Like I said, it was just a work in progress. All right. So that's where I'm at. I'm stuck. So I have. You said it's my turn now?
Yeah.
All right. So what can I do here? That's bad, having all that stuff right there. But not so bad. Okay, we're going to do it. Fortune favors the bold. I'm going to activate Lieutenant DeMoss, who has, with a move, he's got action of 1, and he can activate everybody to move, because we're going to try coming out of the woodwork here. We know the enemy is out there. We're going to see what we can do to sneak up on them. So first I'm going to move these guys. 3 points. So his movement is done. These folks, because they're with Sergeant Savage, they get +1 to their movement, but still they can only move 1. And then everybody in here gets activated, and so they get a bonus movement, but we're going to try moving out of the minefield, and I know they all get attacked, but we're going to try and move this group up 1. So we're going to move up here. So do you want to just resolve the attack as they move out?
Yeah.
So they move as a group, but we'll attack each one individually. All right, so your attack strength for the mines is 6 plus
6.
So 12. All right. Now, mines ignore all terrain cover. Let's see. Obram says, ought to build an overhead track system where you can slide the overhead camera along an XY axis. I know. Well, once we get our chandelier, we'll have something jury-rigged up with, like, little ropes and stuff. So, yeah. Or we'll actually get, like, a camera on a tripod and set it up normal. But we'll come up with something. It'll be exciting. All right. So, I have a defense of 8. Plus, I rolled a 5. Now, it has an event. So, first of all, I know he came out okay. But I roll an event. And the event is Battle hardened. One friendly unit becomes a veteran. Oh, which one will that be? Oh, let's stick it on the 50 caliber machine gun team. My wife just said a nasty word. The last game we played, that 50 caliber machine gun team, when it was part of like fire groups, just tore everything up. It was phenomenally fun to watch. I've never seen my wife say so many bad words and things before. So it was kind of fun, not only for me, but, it was fun for her. Just trashed them. All right. Okay, now I'm moving Lieutenant DeMoss out.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so he has a defense of 9. So I'm beating it. Oh, did you want to roll? Yeah, get a roll for him. Let's see.
5 plus 6,
11.
11, but there's an event.
Okay, your event.
My opponent must reveal one of his secret objective checks.
Oh. Okay, I will reveal. I'll reveal it.
Okay.
Number 5 is worth 1 victory point. Revealed.
Okay.
Fancy I should draw that one, because that's the one she's already defending with all her good junk. Alright, so then the lieutenant rolls 4 plus his 9, 13. So barely made it out. Then I've got the last machine gun team, which they have a terrible defense. So what is it?
12.
A 12. Okay, so they have a defense of 6, so I need to roll 6. Well, I need to be completely safe. I need to roll a 7. Because otherwise, I roll 4.
So he is
They failed.
injured.
So they come out of this injured. Alright, so not the best way to come out of a minefield, because I didn't have, mine detectors and stuff. However,
I saw you moving.
okay,
So I can take a target of opportunity fire.
okay,
Correct?
yes you can. You can take an opportunity. Since I have moved a unit, you can shoot at them.
Okay. So I will activate Lieutenant Dainachi for this fire. And he will activate those around him with a +2 when firing at a moving target.
Okay.
So he gets +2 for his fire. So we'll start with the battalion gun to that hex. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to beat a 5.
Alright.
I got an 8, so it hits.
Now you're doing just the gun, or are you doing like the fire team?
Just the gun. I activate him, and I'm activating him separate.
Okay, so which one are you going to give the +2? Because if they're not fire team, what's going to get the +2? Okay, just that one?
Yeah, that's the first guy, so he gets his +2.
Alright.
So he hits in the hex. 9.
10, 11 for your card.
11 for the card.
Minus 3 for the grass.
So that brings it back down to
8.
Plus.
Now 2 for the lieutenant.
Right, 9, 10.
So you're back to 10 plus your die roll.
Which is a 9.
Okay, so she's up to an attack of 19.
19.
So just to briefly describe, and just in case you can't hear, she activated her lieutenant. She activated both weapon systems in her bunker, but she's firing them separately, not as a fire group.
They
So,
can't be a fire group.
oh yeah, they can't be a fire group anyway because they're ordnance. So without showing you all the counters, but so she applied her +2 for against a moving target, which is in this hex I just moved into. You attack a hex, not individual units. So her hindrance for the tall grass is a 3 for this scenario. Well, just in general grass. So she still ended up with a -1. So her attack strength of 9, -1 gave her 8. Plus the 2 for the lieutenant stacked with her, his ability, gave her 10. And then she rolled a 9 for her total attack. So she has 19, essentially. Now, I check my defense. I got to check each person individually because it's attacking the hex. I do get a defense. Jungle provides 2 cover, so I get a 2 bonus. Now, I look at the defense values. I'm going to do this wounded team first.
Okay.
So they get +1 for the lieutenant, so they're at 8. +1 for the lieutenant is 9. +2 for the train puts them at 11. So that's still a pretty big roll to get, not for them to die. So I roll a 10.
Nice.
So she's not too happy with that. So
You
they
always do that to me.
they
I'm
survive.
not surprised.
They survive. Now I have my 50 caliber team. They are now a veteran status, so they have a base defense of 9, +1 for the lieutenant, which makes them a 10, and then +2 for the woods makes them a 12. So I roll a 4. So they fail, so they're going to be wounded. However, I rolled a sniper event, so I'm going to check to see what hex. Oh, you didn't place your.
That's because there's no sighting.
You still place the sighting because you might eventually get an infiltration, and you just place it. But yeah, since it's going to fire the event. Okay, the sniper event happens in C10. And nobody there. Alright, so no sniper units to attack. And my 50 caliber unit, they've been injured. That sucks sores. Alright. Oh, this could be very bad. Okay, the next person in there, I gotta check my lieutenant. So he doesn't get to give himself a bonus, so he just starts out with 9 defense, +2 for the wood, so he's at 11, plus a roll of 3. So even the lieutenant is hurt. And there was a dispersed event, but there's no smoke, so not good. Nope, not good at all.
Now my mortar.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With 3 hindrance. 8.
And I get an 8.
Well, it did multiply, so you had a 12.
Right.
2
so
times
12.
6. Yep.
So it hit.
So she hits the hex.
So that's 5, 6, 7.
7.
Plus 3. 10. Okay, that crap.
But, yeah, you're right, because you added your 2 for. So the thing about the jungle, which is kind of sucks where I'm at, I get the defense, but she also gets an attack bonus because.
I didn't add that. I didn't add attack.
Oh, okay. Mortars get +2 firepower when firing into woods because it's assumed that the shrapnel they give is spraying everybody with deadly shrapnel. So this could actually be very bad right now. Luckily, this roll is a lot lower than her original attack with the big battalion gun. So, got to do the same thing. Unfortunately, because the leader is wounded, he doesn't impart any bonuses. So we'll start with the machine gun team in the back here. They have a 10.
They're all fine.
I think they're all fine because the lowest I can roll is a 2, essentially. And they're all safe. 2 ties, so they would be suppressed, but everyone else passes. I still roll the cards just in case there's an event. So he rolled a 10. The machine gun team, they have an 11 plus 6, no event. And the commander rolls he has a 10 defense, 12 already. Enfilade. Yeah, so I use up all my good rolls. So luckily from her light mortar, it's more of an annoyance, but everybody is safe. Nobody died. All right, so that was your fire activation during my movement. That was her opportunity fire. All right, so as crappy and sucky as that was, everybody lived. So we call in the medics, and the medics use just so I can show you how cool this is, if you can read that. I'm going to play my Revive 5. Yeah, that's worth showing the camera because it's not always that I have a Revive 5. So here we just did all that, and even though she wounded every single person in the team, they all get fixed up. I unfortunately don't have a Revive 3, so I end up losing a couple Revive points, but technically speaking, that is actually outstanding. Now, I don't have any cards that give me any kind of bonuses for surviving a fire attack. Sometimes you do get something like that. However, not this time, not me, not this time. That was my second order. They were all activated to move, so everybody's kind of stuck there. Alright, so we're done. I'm going to draw 2 cards, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. And that is the end of my turn.
Okie dokie. Right. So here's what we're going to do. We're trying to make this exciting because we're probably just going to play one turn. Otherwise, because the game can take a few hours. We're going to play through one turn. So we're going to make it exciting for this one turn. Yeah. I'm going to make it exciting for my one turn. Alright, I'm going to play a fire order. I'm going to activate Lieutenant DeMoss. This is how she gets me sometimes. She's very much the literal player. Like, I know I'm going to fire the machine gun, and it's going to be part of a fire group, but if I activate just the machine gun, I can't activate anybody else. Even though that's my intent, was to make a fire group. And so she likes to say, well, you didn't activate the lieutenant, so you can't make your fire group. Like, she holds me to it. So I'm being very clear, activating Lieutenant DeMoss to make my fire group. Fire group? Alright, she's like, well, it's the rules, so I do it to her, she does it to me. So I activate my Lieutenant DeMoss. He's going to activate this rifle. He can't be part of it because he's out of range, but he activates the 2 machine guns, and we play sustained fire on the 50 caliber machine gun.
That's +2, right?
Plus 2 on that machine gun unit, so on the 50 cal, my veteran.
Okay, now, the veteran just makes the man a veteran, not the weapon a veteran, right?
Yeah. Crap. I put my veteran marker on the wrong team. This is why I play with her. She points out pokes the little holes in my planning. Because I thought, dude, I'll make that machine gun way cooler, and it don't work that way. So I made the unit a veteran, but they suck. So making them a veteran, they still suck, because they don't, yeah, anyhow. Live and learn. Alright, so, fire team, dang it. I might as well just set that on the bottom then. It will help their defense.
Yep.
So it does help their defense. I can't say it totally sucks, but it does help their defense and their movement and their base range. So, actually, they can participate in and be helpful. Alright, so I have 9, 10, 11, because of my card, 12 for them, then 13, 14 for them, because they're in range, 14. He's not part of it, but he adds his 1 point to their firepower. 15, and then they're contributing, so 16. Minus 2 cover for that stuff, so it's a 14. And then I get to roll.
Okay.
So my fire group fires, and they get a 6. So it's a 20. Firepower 20. Not terrible, but not super, super good.
Now, okay, I have this.
Alright.
It's a hidden pillbox.
Okay.
Place the pillbox into the hex into which your opponent just fired.
Alright. Now, because... So you want to, like... Well, you can't because it's already got a fortification.
So you can't replace the fortification?
No.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yep. Can't replace it, can't add to it, so...
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. And the reason why I know that, because I've been reading the forums, and they say, read what the card says. The card doesn't say replace a fortification with a pillbox. It
No,
says
it says place it.
So, yeah, it's stuck. All right. Which, yeah, because pillbox is stronger, so that would have been a good thing. However, it's already got a foxhole. Any others?
Okay. So, let's see. Alright, let's start with him.
Okay.
So he's 8,
Mm-hmm.
9, 10, 11.
All right. 11 plus 7 is 18. So one Japanese unit is wounded.
9, 12,
Roll low, roll low.
plus 9.
Oh.
He is 5.
So he made it. So unfortunately, my fire group was good in concept, poor in execution, but I did wound one Japanese unit in the foxhole. So, now because they've been activated for fire, and I don't have any other moves, and we're just kind of stuck there, I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards and end my turn. Alright, so I tried to make it a little exciting. It is your turn.
Alright. Your turn.
Oh, so she did a little exchange too. Alright, so let me tell you, as far as the cards go, the idea behind some of these cards is to simulate, like I mentioned, the breakdown of communication and the confusion. So they have these cards, Command Confusion. When we play the American player, this is the most worthless card we have found as far as if you draw it into your hand. It's the, I know you probably can't see very good, but it's the Command Confusion card that not only I'm trying to get rid of some of the gloss here for you, but not only is it Command Confusion on the order, but it's Command Confusion on the action, meaning this card is a waste of draw and hand space, and we hate that card. If I was a Magic the Gathering player, I would so totally take 2 decks and rebuild the deck, which you can't do. But if I could rebuild it, I would get rid of those completely. Alright, so that was my turn. I did a discard and drew 2 semi-useful cards.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to activate Lieutenant Dainachi with a fire order.
Okay.
And my battalion gun is going to start out. And he's going to fire into that hex.
Okay.
9, 10, 11.
Are you activating anybody else for firing? Or just the field gun?
Well, I'm activating both of them separately.
I'm just making sure.
Yes, I'm activating him. He's sending them to fire first.
Alright.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
8, so 2, whatever your cards multiplied.
12.
Alright, so they do hit the hex.
They hit the hex.
So you have
9, 10, 11, minus 2. Is it? Yeah.
Well, but you add 2
3.
because of it just equals out, so it's basically.
We still have to do it right.
Alright, so 9, 10, 11, so it's 13.
Okay.
Plus whatever you roll.
13 plus...
Roll low.
7.
So it's a 20.
20.
Alright, that sucks, because I had an 18 last time, and everybody got wounded. And then you still have the mortar. Oh, wait, yo, he doesn't add the +2 for woods. That's just the mortar. Oh, so the mortar's really going to suck. Alright.
I didn't add the +2 for the woods.
Well, yeah, that's 9, 10, 11. Then it's only 11 plus your roll. I was trying to add in that woods damage, but I forgot
Okay,
that
so it's
doesn't.
18.
Okay, so 18. That still sucks, which we had last time. All right, so let's work on the defense. Let's do this guy first. He's my machine gun. I care about him the most. So he's got 9 because he's the veteran, plus 2 for the woods. That's 11, plus 1 for the lieutenant. That's 12. So I need to be completely safe a 7 or greater, and I rolled exactly a 7. When you tie and you don't move, then he becomes suppressed. So my guy is suppressed. Now, what sucks about that is when you're suppressed, you can't fire a weapon. So that 50 caliber that really wrecks havoc is inoperable at the moment. So, and the cool thing is you can make it a narrative. I mean, it could be anything from running out of ammo, a weapon jammed, any number of things. Why I can't shoot. Ducking for cover so they're hiding down, can't see. All right, the next unit is the other machine gun unit. They have a defense of 6, plus 2 for the woods is 8, plus 1 for lieutenant is 9. So I need a 9 or better. Get something good. And of course, they roll a 5. So they're going to get flipped. I got to resolve the event first before I flip them. The event states, Battle Lust. Gain +1 or gain 1 victory point if your opponent has more eliminated units than you. So we have no eliminated units. So he flips again. Don't die. Don't you die on me. Okay, then Lieutenant DeMoss is 9 plus 2 for the wood, so it's 11. Lieutenant DeMoss gets a 7. 7 plus 11 is 18. So he is suppressed as well. So, which is okay. He doesn't take damage, but he does take a hit to his defense a little bit.
Okay. Now the light mortar.
Okay, light mortar.
7.
So, it's 8, actually.
What?
Because it's 5 spaces and then 3 for the...
No.
So...
I missed. But there's an event.
2 times 3. Yeah, okay.
All blazes spread in one direction. Have no blazes.
So she drew blaze, but yeah, no blaze. Alright, so fortunately her mortar missed. My turn?
Nope.
You're done?
That was my first order.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to fire my medium machine gun.
Alright. Eight
So
X's away.
He can hit it. And I'm going to +2 when firing a machine gun.
Okay.
So that means I'm only -1, so
6 plus... So a 12. Awesome. 12. Alright, so my men are hunkering down into the jungle vegetation. Okay, so let's do the wounded guy. 8,
Snake
9,
eyes.
10.
Snake eyes.
You want us to press him? Alright, so
Snake eyes.
10 plus 6. He's fine. Alright, then I have my lieutenant, who is at 8 plus, is at a 10 as well. And he rolls an 11. Wow, there goes a good use of a card right there. Then my heavy machine gun unit is at a 7, actually 8, because their veteran cancels out that, so 8. So at a 10, here we go, 10 plus 4, 14. So they barely make it, but everybody hunkers down, they hide in the woods, and they avoid all the machine gun fire. So they're suppressed, they're hunkering down. What happens? Is that it?
Yep.
Alright. So I look at my cards, And my first order is we call in the medics, and
Again.
I have a revive 1. So revive 1 lets me either heal one dude or remove 1 level of suppression. So I've got a wounded guy. I need to move them out of these trees, that's for certain. So first of all, I heal the wounded guy. Well, our combat medics are phenomenal. So while they're there, they use the revive 2 action and remove the 2 levels of suppression. Probably could have left those there and saved the revive for something else. But, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Now, unfortunately, that was 2 actions, so I've only got 1 left. What I need to do that battalion gun is a pain in the butt. And the reason why is because I'm out in the jungle, and that gives a bonus to jungle fever. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, fortune favors the bold, everybody. Fortune favors the bold. I'm going to play a move action, and I'm going to activate Lieutenant DeMoss, and what we're going to do is charge the foxhole. So we're going to move everybody 1 hex forward. Now I can do that because the rival team has 4, and that Bush has a movement penalty of 2. So he goes 1, 2. Then all these guys, they have the equipment with them, but because Lieutenant DeMoss gives them a bonus point to movement, and they're a veteran, they can move. So that's another good thing about the veteran marker. So they all move together because they're all moving into the same hex. Now, that's all I can do. Even if I had an advance order right now, which I may or may not have, I already played 3 orders. So here comes my 3 replacement cards. Okay, it is your turn.
Alright. I am going to fire with Lieutenant Dainachi. Activate that and that.
Okay. Her bunker of doom.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They're closer now, so 7.
Oh.
Alright, so it hits the hex.
9, 10, 11, minus 3, 8.
Plus, so 16. So the nice thing is, moving out of that jungle hex.
I didn't get one for the battalion gun.
Oh, that's right, she didn't get it. Okay, well good, you're at a 16, but at least for the mortar. Alright, so you're at a 16, and I still get plus 2 cover for the bush.
Okay.
So the bush is still pretty good. You know, and it's hard to say exactly what kind of bush that is, you know, but that's, you know, tall grass, imperfections in the land that they're hugging, so they're sneaking around trying to avoid whatever. Alright, so I'm going to do my machine gun unit here, so 8, 9, 10, 11, plus is 7, so that's 18. Okay, because I'm trying to beat a 16. Okay, my regular machine gun unit has a 9 plus. I rolled the time event. And I don't know if you can read the dice roll, but basically there, I just rolled
And snake eyes.
snake eyes. So not only are they wounded again, but that triggers the time action. So that technically would be the end of the first turn. So that's where we were going to end it. So let's just take a look at what we do for a time advance. First thing for this scenario is you advance your time marker. Then me, because I triggered it, I shuffle my discard and my draw pile together just to kind of see where we end up at. So I'm shuffled here a little bit. So depending on how you shuffle, and I'm not very good at shuffling these sleeved cards, it's quite possible that that time event ends right back up at the top of the deck, and shortly into my next turn, I could possibly draw it. We also, defender gets 1 victory point. And at least for this, that's about it. Shuffle, move. I do have some units that are placed on the time track, so as I advance, I get to place one of the units I was given by my scenario, and according to the scenario, I can place them anywhere on the map from, Hex E back. And these represent Filipino guerrilla fighters, and I can place them pretty much anywhere. One nice thing that they have is they've got a special attack that if they attack an adjacent fortification and they make an attack roll of 9 or higher, they destroy the fortification. So my Filipino jungle fighters show up to assist. That's pretty much it, according to the... Yeah, I would do a sudden death check, but we're not close to the sudden death. So he would break. So technically, I still got to finish my turn. But
Actually, my turn.
Yeah, your turn, because you fired. And then I check defense of the lieutenant. 9, 10, 11 for the bush. And he rolls a 10. So the lieutenant is safe. So that was your fire. So we'll let you finish out your...
And then we have the light mortar over there.
Okay.
7.
She rolled... Okay, so the cool thing about ordnance, when you make an attack, to see if you hit a hex, you count the distance of the hex, and then you add to it the hindrance. Basically, it's like how difficult it is to see the target. So she has a 7 total to beat. And what you do is when you roll the dice, you take your card, you flip it, and you multiply the 2 dice numbers together. And if you roll over that number, you hit the hex. So she needed a 7. When you multiply two 6s together, or 2 dice 6 together, she rolled a 1 and a 5. That's the best. So her mortar misses completely. And it doesn't drift or anything like that because it's not artillery. It's just gone. And then she played revive, so she brought back her B division, which sucks because I was just about to shoot into the hex. However, for demos, we were going to end it right here. Now, we'll probably leave the game set up and we will finish it ourselves, but we did want to just kind of play through one game and see how it worked out. So, I don't know. What do you think, Obram? If you were out there, if you stayed watching, did it work out okay? Take an opinion, as if he's still there. Yeah. Yeah, it worked. So again, not the best way to see everything. All right, cool. So we're hoping that turned out pretty good. So we're hoping maybe we can do more board games like this. But really, I wanted to try this for a couple reasons. One, Mapboard Monday, so you actually got to see me play an actual physical war game instead of just a vassal module or something I put together. And then two, hopefully gives you just a quick overview of the flow of the game, which is actually very, very fun. And that was only one turn, and the turns come at random times. He does say the sound is a little hitchy, but not too bad. Yeah, the sound we haven't had a chance to really experiment with and fix, so hopefully if we play with it some more, we'll get the sound down. So we call this a proof of concept video. So sound, we know we need to work on, so I appreciate that. All right, so we're just going to decide. She's waving. Do you want to leave it put up, or are we done with this one?
Cat all over the table. Might as well wrap it up.
Yeah.
And play again.
We're going to wrap it up. The cat, yeah, we're afraid the cat will get on here and just wipe out all the work we have. So, all right. Hey, thanks, though, for checking out the video. He says, makes me miss board games. Thumbs up. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. That's kind of the whole point. I really think board games are fun. Maybe we'll do like Settlers of Catan and some other stuff. Not that we can really compete with Will Wheaton and his board game thing, but this is just our little slice of life. So yeah, I'm hoping we can do some more games. I've actually got another war game coming, so maybe we'll play some more war games. Maybe we'll play some more scenarios. When we have a chance, we'll spend more time and play this earlier in the day and play more turns. But, thanks for checking it out. Let us know if there's anything in particular you want to play. Not that we have like an extensive collection of games, but I definitely would not mind setting some more stuff out for folks to watch, and we can have some fun. All right, thanks, Obram, for hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, if all goes well with work, we'll be back to some Star Trek Online. It's been hectic with my birthday and vacation and everything. I'm hoping to get back into the swing of things. So we'll see you later. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, if normally you are watching us do online games, we'll still do those too, but this was our board game night, and this is what I picked. Yay. Map Board Monday. So, all right, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot. Bye.